Alrighty then, we are back with the second episode of DDO. We are. So on the last episode, which you can once this is up, you'll probably see the last episode because that'll probably have gone up before this. I will have given a brief introduction into the game and to what my goals are in the game to get to level 20. To get to level 20 while playing the game, so there's a reason for me to play it. I'm playing a wizard because I actually quite like wizards. I mean, wizards are awesome, and I know a lot of people who would be watching me and know me will say, "But why aren't you playing a dragonborn?" You actually get a bonus to intelligence as a drow, and and I've not played a drow, really, so I want to see what their racial enhancement tree is. And yeah, this game is 3.0 D&D is third edition. So we don't have any of the silly species rubbish that Wizard of the Coast is trying to implement. And while I don't know much about 5.5, I do know that they're trying to do the whole DEI modern audience crap. That they're trying to basically they're trying to go mainstream with the D&D, and they're trying to basically from what I can see, they're trying to make it appeal to this fabled modern audience that doesn't exist, and wondering why they are floundering and failing in the dirt. Well, the simple answer is nobody is part of this modern audience. Quit interfering and messing around with D&D. Quit ruining a beloved pastime, basically. If most people hadn't guessed, I don't really like Wizards of the Coast, and I don't like Hasbro for a lot of shit that they've done. Mainly one of the things that they did was Wizards of the Coast mistakenly sent out a box product to somebody, and guess what? To recover it, because they're like, oh shit, that's spoilers, that's leakage, we can't have that. They sent the Pinkertons. They hired the Pinkertons to go and basically coerce, threaten, and scare this guy and bust his door down and take their shit back. Oh, and no, they didn't reimburse the guy. They didn't reimburse the guy, and that is one of the many flaws and failures and reasons why I very much dislike Wizards of the Coast. It's but one of many. Ouch, that hurt. I do not have for falling. I need to be more careful. Should not fall like that. But that's proof in this game that falling damage exists. Falling damage fucking hurts. It's 3 minutes. I can swear. It's over 3 minutes. I can swear. I'm not monetized, so basically it does not matter at this point if I swear or not, because I am nowhere near the ability to get monetized on YouTube, which would actually help me quite a lot, the monetization, because of my real life is not so great money-wise. But we're not getting to that because that is personal life, and I want to keep YouTube and personal life separate. If you watch me on my streams, you probably or know me outside of streams, you probably know what troubles I'm facing, and I'm not the only person facing these troubles. The cost of living crisis that is currently going on in the entire world, with the cost of groceries, rent, and a lot of other things, is not foreign to most people. And hopefully, watching these videos, even though it's just some random British guy, I am British, waffling on and playing a very old video game, hopefully the reason the numbers are going up in yellow there, mind me cutting off mid-tangent, is he is resistant to the damage. The crossbow is a piercing weapon. Zombies need slashing. Zombies are resistant to bludgeoning and piercing. They also heal from negative energy. So if you are playing a negative energy caster and wondering why your spells are not doing shit and you're struggling with undead, that is your answer. You need positive energy to actually damage them effectively, or just set them on fire. Most of them don't like being set on fire. Now, that doesn't work on every single one. There are plenty of undead that are either resistant to it or completely immune to it, and there are some that just flat out absorb it. So there is that. So you, as a wizard, you prepare your spells in advance. So if you know what the dungeon is and know what you're going into and know what you're facing, you prepare your spells in advance. I'm going to take a quick drink. Sorry, it's for my throat. I've already done one of these videos already, and I've already spoken for like half an hour or so, so my throat is getting a bit dry and a bit sore. To be fair, my throat has not been great the last the last 2 weeks or so, like the last like 3 weeks or so. If I have to be honest, I did have a fever, like a random summer fever out of nowhere, and I had to miss a day of work for that, which cost me on my paycheck, which I'm still none too pleased about. I don't like missing days of work, especially days that pay you 7.5 hours. 7.5 hours of my paycheck is not chump change. That buys booster packs. It also buys more content, basically booster packs, which is content for shorts. It buys video games, which gives us content for it gives us content for YouTube and Twitch. So a lack of content is a bad thing. As you can probably guess, I need content. I need to keep putting content out. And it needs to be semi-decent because I at least have some level of standards. I may not have the ability to edit very well because I don't have editing software or such, but what we will do is we will just take the live cut, and if the live cut is crap, well, we're just gonna roll with it because and we'll roll with it. Sorry about the interruption. The joys of living in your parents' house. Still, when you're an adult and you're still trying to do stuff, you are going to have interruptions, especially when nobody decides to knock on doors and ask people and do stuff, and they just randomly come into your room. Now, I will admit it doesn't happen as much these days, especially because my younger brother knows that doing that, me and him basically are working together with YouTube and streaming to a degree. While we're not officially in a team or anything on the Twitch side, we are working together to boost each other's footprint on the platform, however small it is, either via word of mouth or through our friends and such. And it's worked. It's worked. I've had some minor success. I mean, in this last month, I've had 2,100 views on shorts, mainly shorts, but again, it's not a terrible thing, it's not a bad thing, and it's pretty much a good thing. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, small success is more than I can ask for. If I want a bigger success, I want more consistent views, I need to make more and more content. And I know that shorts is where the content is, but the Let's Play stuff is basically content, and it's going to keep the channel alive while we get shorts, because I can do this for free, and then it's content that can be done at a later date, basically. If I remember correctly, how this works is you open the doors up, you hit the levers. Ah, they're locked. Right. I need to hit a. There is another lever I need to hit that opens everything up here. Oh no, that's locked. Ah, I get it, because you have to hit the other one. Yeah. So how it works, how this works is that there's Oh, they're all locked. So in reality, no, because you have to pull levels that activate signal crystals to actually do that. I'll be honest, I am not and I'm guessing there's another signal crystal that we have to pull a lever for. Yes. Okay, and now we can open that one. I'll admit I am not the sharpest tool in the shed, thanks to my ADHD. It does not help when it comes to critical thinking. Do not get me wrong, I can still do critical thinking just as well as anybody else. I'm just a little bit slower on the uptake with a lot of stuff. But yeah, as I probably said in one of the other ones, currently I'm streaming on the YouTube on the Twitch side. I'm currently streaming from 2 p.m. to 7 to no, not 7. I'm thinking of the military time. It's 2 till 5 p.m. my time. I need to get to water. I need to get above water because I don't really want to start drowning and take damage. You can drown and die in this game. There is a breath meter. And yes, there is a trap on the wall, if I remember correctly. At least one of these walls has a trap. I can't jump very well, but if you do manage to get across and up there, if I remember correctly in Sacrifices, there is an extra boss that is quite powerful because, well, he's a mage, so... And he's a zombie. Not a zombie, he's undead. That's what that locked treasure chest is over there. He hurts when you're there and with the damage because he's healing himself for 1 damage with his thing, with his lesser death aura, which is a level 2 spell. It's a rare level 2 spell. There are spells in this game which constitute as rare spells, so you basically end up not having you either have to find them or you have to have someone who knows the 5th level spell teleport to the what you call it, the portable hole, and buy the spell that way, or you get lucky and get it in a treasure chest, or you buy it on the auction house. There is a full-blown auction house in this game, so there's stuff for that. These rest shrines heal you. They are based on your heal ability, unless you are a Warforged. A Warforged will use the repair skill instead of the heal skill. So there's that. So if you want to heal a lot of these, you make sure that you make sure that heal is one of the skills that you take, even if it's not a class one, because it will heal you based on that, and I think it's also based on your Constitution modifier as well. And you only get a percentage back of your hit points, so there is that. I picked up some dragon shards. Those dragon shards are used in the crafting system in this game. There is a crafting system. I mean, it's D&D. I mean, you do have the ability to craft stuff in D&D. It usually costs a load of money and materials. Here's the trap. So basically, the floor is spikes, and then you have a giant blade that comes out. If you have a rogue or artificer or or the subset of the or you have the subset class, the other kit of the ranger, you can disable traps because you have the ability. You have disable devices as a skill. As long as you've trained that skill and have at least 1 rank in it, you can disable traps. Obviously, you want that skill as high as possible if you're playing those classes because, well, being able to disable traps, they all have a difficulty class, like spells and such. I know that I'm mainly using a crossbow, but low-level wizard play is mainly using a crossbow until you get some more spells and such. I know people are saying, you're still level 1, you haven't leveled up. No, I'm using a technique called EXP saving, basically you're banking your EXP, and yeah, basically by banking the experience points, you basically can play lower level quests and get the full amount of XP, or you can play quests at the proper level, and you, as I said, you bank XP based on them, and you go from there pretty much. She's the person we want to rescue, so we're not rescuing her straight away because we want to go kill the extra boss, and if he's got extra monsters, we want to kill them. There's also breakables as well. A lot of quests will have like you get a bonus for breaking stuff. You get a bonus of XP for saving the prisoners or such. Like, look, as you see, there's a scorecard. So you have an aggression bonus, which is kill enemies. How many enemies you kill. You also get a bonus for not killing enemies. So there is that on top of it. The reason I'm using this crossbow is because this crossbow is actually very good. It's hitting normal damage, and it's hitting piercing damage, but it's also hitting archaic damage. I'm neutral, so I don't take any problem. I'm a neutral character. I'm true neutral. I can equip an evil weapon. I can equip good aligned weapons. I can equip chaotic. I can equip good. I can equip lawful. I can equip chaotic and evil. So I can equip everything. There's no problem with me. Your alignment will base what you can equip. If you're good, you do not want to equip chaotic or evil items. The reason for that being is because they will actually affect you. The game does have some issues where there is lag spikes, where there are random lag spikes, or that the server fails to communicate to you. One, this game's servers are in the US. 2, this game is old. 3, this game is spaghetti code. You have to understand that spaghetti code basically means no, they cannot just rebuild the game from scratch. If they tried to do that, they'd have to literally rebuild the entire game from scratch. And they'd have to redo like the graphics engine. They'd have to redo everything. The game would literally go down, and they don't want that. This game, I think, mainly for the developers is a passion project, and they are doing the best that they can with servers and everything. They are doing what they can with what they've got, with what ability they have. Kind of like me with my YouTube and my Twitch. With the equipment that I've got. I'm doing the best with what I've got to basically give people the best level of experience as I possibly can. Now, I would love to give people a better level of experience, but that unfortunately requires an investment into better equipment. I just don't have that kind of cash right now. I think the game's doing this because the game's been running for a little while. I have noticed the game does suffer from memory leaks, or it could just be the time when a lot of Americans are on, or it could just be the game just being jank. The game do be that way a fair bit with this game. Older games equal jank. Now, I know that the latest World of Warcraft expansion has come out in early access. If you pay extra for it, I'm not paying for it. As I've said to a lot of people, I will try it out in the future when I'm bored and I've got nothing to do, or I need some content, and I'll just play through me leveling through it, and just do it as a let's play on YouTube and such. But I'm not going to just flat out go and buy it and play it. I have a complicated history with World of Warcraft for people who actually know me. It's complicated because I used to love the game when I was a teenager. I used to absolutely love that game as a teenager. I'd play the hell out of it. It was school. It was basically halfway through high school. It was school. Who gave a toss about that crap? Because you weren't learning anything interesting. It was boring. Go home. World of Warcraft. And weekend was like, oh my god, this is so great. I have 2 days of not giving a shit. World of Warcraft. And I know a lot of people will be like, but you were a kid. What about homework? What's homework? I never did homework. They gave up trying to give me homework. Now, the zombies are immune to the daze effect on the spell, but the spell still does damage to them, so it's worth doing it. Again, they are resistant to arrows, so the crossbow is not the best weapon to use against zombies. It's also not the best weapon to use against skeletons. But the thing is, as long as you're doing damage and you're able to kill the enemies, who gives a shit? You're killing them. So, how these like exploration areas work, they're kind of like the overworld a bit. Like they themselves are an encapsulated. They're like the wilderness overworld that you'd have in a Final Fantasy game, except for you have set monsters spawn in certain places. You have set there are some rare monsters, basically notable enemies that rarely spawn. There are a couple places where they spawn. They do drop loot. They give you XP. They drop loot. So there's that. So they are worth hunting down. I mean, extra loot is extra loot. So, I mean, and it's Dungeons and Dragons. What do you do as an adventurer? You kill everything and you get loot. So that's what you want. I mean, to be fair, in this game, you have a lot more hit points than you do in normal pen and paper. As a wizard in pen and paper, if we were playing 3rd edition, I would have 4 hit points. Plus, if I took toughness, I would gain a few more hit points. And then if I had any points in constitution, I would gain a couple more hit points. So that D4 would probably turn into a D4 plus a handful. So, not too great. Oh, and in 3rd edition you have 1 spell slot. The reason this game gives you 3 is because, well, it's an MMO, it'd be kind of boring if all you could do is cast Magic Missile and then that's it, you blew your load, you're useless. I'm not even joking, 3rd edition literally was that. That's literally 3rd edition. You got 4 hit points, a stick or a crossbow if you took a crossbow. And, well, you had D4 hit points. If you're very unlucky, you had 1 HP. Because you'd roll for your hit points. You weren't given the maximum amount of hit points straight off. You rolled for it. It was 3d6. And you kept what you rolled. It was 3d6, you kept what you rolled. And if you rolled like crap, you rolled like crap. If your DM was nice, your DM might let you reroll like maybe 1. If you're doing point buy, you could avoid being crap. You'd be slightly stronger with point buy. But most people that I know of, like most stories that I know of, and most people that I know of who've played D&D, especially the older versions of D&D, yeah, it was 3d6 or 4d6 discard the lowest, and that was your result. That's how I always do, that's how me and my friends always do characters when we've done it. We've played Pathfinder, we've played Pathfinder 2e, and a few other ones, and I'm gonna be honest, 2E is the best that we've played so far, just simply because of the free action economy. Move, attack. Even though every subsequent attack past your first one has a negative modifier of -5 to it, who cares? You can attack 3 times. I can shoot you, reload my crossbow, and then shoot you again. Oh, but it takes 2 actions to do that. Yes, well, the thing is I can take if I didn't step, which is the 5-foot movement, I can use that free action to be used as one of the interaction actions. And then use that, and then use a normal action, and then basically reload my crossbow if my crossbow is basically 2 actions to reload. So that's why I love it, because it was basically you'd have to carry multiple crossbows on you in D&D, and it would take you an action. It would take you an action to take the crossbow out of your backpack and shoot it. So it will take a full round action for you to do that. And that's not advisable if you wanted to do that. Or you'd have to have a hand crossbow and wield 2 hand crossbows. And then you haven't got a hand free to do anything else if you need a hand free for somatic components of it. Basically, somatic components of the spell, you know, waving your hands, drawing symbols in the air, Full Metal Alchemisting that shit. Like Edward clapping your hands together and basically touching the ground and pulling a fucking spear out the fucking ground because you've used metal and the earth to do that kind of thing. As an example, I mean, there's a lot of crazy ways you can imagine it. The thing is I do have an imagination. I do have a good imagination. My problem is because of my ADHD and because of all the, because of a lot of the other issues that I've got, with my mental health and such, it's getting those ideas down on paper, and that's what's also affecting me with the YouTube and Twitch stuff. I actually have to be in the mental state. I actually have to convince myself that I need to record. I need to make content. Once I start making it, if I'm not having a mental breakdown, or I'm not having a midlife crisis or some other issue, as some people would refer to as being a bitch, you know, yeah, I have to be in the right state of mind to actually do the whole recording stuff and the YouTube and recording, streaming, anything of the like that. So I need to be. There needs to be. I need to basically be in the right mind frame to the right frame of mind to actually do stuff, and I don't mind. I don't mind like doing like the whole YouTube thing where I do like about half an hour, give or take half an hour thing, and do a couple of parts and spend like about an hour, 2 hours, which is what I would be streaming, like about an hour and a half, like do 3 parts on a day that I have off. That gives me content that I can stagger over 3 days. I can stagger that content over 3 days, and then people are more likely to, and people are going to watch it. Now, the thing is I don't expect this stuff to like blow up in popularity overnight. I'm still very much an unknown. I'm still very much a nobody, an unknown, a no-name, on both Twitch and YouTube. I mean, I'm more successful on YouTube when it comes because of views. I'll take those crossbow bolts because that's 3 crossbow bolts. You can open that up, and it does give you an item, but the item is not great. It gives you runic hand, which gives you a +1 to use magic device, which ain't so great. It's gloves, it's a glove item, but you're only opening that if you, as I said, if you have the ability to open locks, or you have the level 2 spell knock, the knock spell at level 2. Now, when I level up, I will get an extra spell slot, so I will be casting stronger spells. So there's that. You gain more spell slots as you level up. Usually you gain a spell slot from a level before you, and a couple and like from lower level spells. So when I level up again, I will gain a level 1 spell slot, obviously, to gain 4 spells, and that'll be 4 prepared spells that I can have all at once. I know 7 spells, but I can only prepare the number of spells that I have a slot for. A first level wizard in this game gets 3 slots, as opposed to, as I said earlier, the pen and paper where you'd get 1 slot. So you'd get magic missile, and then you probably blow your load on magic missile, and then yeah, you can't do shit. So you do your D4 +1, that hits, that always hits, and then that's that. How the wilderness areas work? Just a quick synopsis into them. Before we have to end the part, because we're getting very close to 30 minutes. It's quite funny how 30 minutes goes by, like it goes by in a flash, actually. But a very quick synopsis. You have rare encounters. You gain XP for every rare encounter you complete. You gain XP for every explorer that you complete if the area has explorer. You also gain XP on killing a certain threshold of enemies. It usually starts 10, 25, 50, 100, 200, 400. And then it usually goes up to 750. Some areas go up to 1,500 and above. Usually, it's if you complete it all, you get a big XP bonus, big XP boost. It does take a long time to do it, so usually you're doing it in a group, and you're usually just mass doing it. You'll usually, as I said, you'll mainly do it in a group, and you'll be mass doing the quest. You'll be mass doing this place. You'll have like about 3 people running around, just going about. You'll have about 3-4 people, up to 6 people. There's basically up to 5 other people, including yourself, running around and killing all the monsters in the area. Everybody leaves. Everybody then recalls once you've killed everything and you've found the encounters, if you can find the encounters. And then you basically do it again and again and again until you have everything. And yeah, the higher level ones are bigger areas, so don't expect to get everything straight away. Some areas have exploration, but their exploration is more the storyline of the area, where you're more likely to find scrolls or books or lore books and stuff instead of finding the specific areas. And these books have multiple locations, be all over the place, and they have multiple spawn points and such and such. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video. I'm gonna end this part here because we've recorded over 30 minutes, and I don't want to keep it going. So thanks for watching. If you do like the content, do hit that subscribe button. Pretty much. I need to get used to saying that. Hit the subscribe button, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, either way. If you like the content, thumbs it up. If you don't like the content, thumbs it down. Give me give me some some pointers of what I can do better in the future. Alright, I'm off. See ya.